That changes the tone, or like the dynamics of the Mutation Phasor so much. Like, it enhances, again, this is without, with. Like, that's an insane amount of warble. Hey, I'm Jade, thanks for tuning in. Today we've got the Warm Audio Mutation Phasor. My only real experience with Phasor has been the past 2 weeks that I've had this pedal. I am renting it, so I have it for another week. If you're new here, I'm generally a plug straight into the amp kind of girl, but I've been looking to broaden my horizons, and maybe Phasor will be part of that. I'm gonna go through general settings and then find kind of my own tone with it. So let's see how it goes. So that is my clean tone. Of course, if you're new here, this is my Epiphone Les Paul Standard, and it's going into my Fender Blues Junior, and I am miking it with a Zoom H4n, and I generally kind of blend the camera kind of room mic in with it as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through 0, 5, and 10 on the rate, depth, and feedback knob, just showing what each does, and then we'll get into just some tones. Everything's at 0. Let's turn the rate up to 5. Now rate's at 10. And we're gonna go with back down to 0 at the rate. The depth, we're gonna turn up to 5. Now depth up to 10. Now put that depth back to 0, and then put the feedback up to 5. And up to 10. Interesting. That feedback up to, once it hits 10, that's actually just a bit of high. Let's go back down even just to 5. Not sure if that's gonna come through, but it just is seemingly adding just a little treble. So let's throw them all onto noon and see what we get there. That sounds good. I kind of like the spacey vibes. That sounds good. So I'm gonna go on to another sound. Right before I hit record on these, I dialed in a couple things just because, you know, I have played this before. Again, I wasn't really paying attention to settings when I was playing it. And I'm also going to kick on a couple other effects after I dial in a couple other sounds. So this is a nice subtle sound that I've just found. It's 2.5 for rate, 2.5 for depth, and 9 for feedback. Which is funny because I've kind of found I've liked less feedback, but with this subtle tone, I find that it works really well, having the higher feedback. Really quite enjoy that. I'm gonna actually bring the depth down a little bit and try it like that. I really like that. What I like about this setting is it fits in with my style of playing, but adds just adds a little bit of character to it, other than just plugging, you know, straight into the amp, which is kind of what this is all about. What this channel is all about is my tone journey and just finding something different and being inspired, whether it's just super subtle or kind of crazy out there. Sometimes like the subtle just adds that little something. Okay, so now we are gonna bump it up a little bit. This I generally believe was the settings that I was kind of using when I was making some music with this. Again, I just had it on my desk and just clicked it on with a few other pedals just to get kind of like a big sound and some weird sounds, but it was kind of this, and this is probably my favorite sound of the pedal. I should say my favorite sound of the pedal, like truly being like, okay, like a phasey sound, not just kind of like that subtle sound that we had before. Definitely for me, this sound works better kind of being driven, and where it's adding like just some oomph to some drive or some fuzz that's in front of it, and adding just kind of more, making the sound just bigger. Also, for you bass players out there, I will be trying these with the bass this week. All the pedals that I've rented, and maybe a couple of the pedals that I have, and getting weird with some bass. So for sound 4, I am going to hook up some pedals with this and see what we get. Okay, we're back, and I've got the Electro-Harmonix Big Muff with Tone Wicker, the Boss Wazacraft Dimension C, and the Universal Audio Orion. You can for sure check out the Orion and Dimension C playthroughs on the channel. I don't know if the big muff is gonna go on before or after this one, so we will get to it. So this is without the big muff. So the Orion, Dimension C, and Mutation Phasor are on. I'm gonna take off the Orion and the Dimension C and just do the big muff into the phaser. This is without the big muff. That changes the tone, or like the dynamics of the Mutation Phasor so much. Like, it enhances, again, this is without, with. Like, that's an insane amount of warble. You're just gonna turn it down. It's like if Daffy Duck was a metal pedal. You throw in the Dimension C. And then the Orion. Throw the rate and depth up to 5, the feedback to 2 on the phaser. Okay, I think that is the perfect way to end this. I'm gonna unplug and then get back to you with my final thoughts. While I like it, it's definitely not going on the board or on the wish list. Purely, I think, for cost. I can't remember how much it is. I'll put it up now, and just the size, but I could maybe see Phasor going on my board, maybe, or maybe just like, you know, auxiliary to the board if I was looking for something. I do like how it interacts with like the chorus and delay, and I like that extra bit it adds when you do add some drive and some fuzz. Didn't sound great with just the fuzz in this, which I, you know, hadn't tried just this and the fuzz before. I'll definitely, you know, try Phasor in the future, but it'd be finding a cheaper one that can do the subtle parts and the subtler tones, and the like that tone where it's just like it's kind of just engaging. It's just adding that phase. Okay, you can tell that it's a phaser. So yeah, if you've stuck around this far, I'd love if you liked and subscribed, and tell me if you have any experience with phasers, or if you would recommend maybe like if there's like a cheap phaser. Have you tried, I don't know if Behringer has a phaser, if they do, or the cheap TC Electronic, or if you'd be interested in seeing me try out one of those. Because maybe you're kind of interested in a phaser as well, but you'd like it at a more affordable price point. So yeah, check out my other videos as well. And thanks, and have yourselves a good one.